Summer is here, and so is the Palm Springs Baker. Can you believe it? We're like starting to kick off the real official summer. I love it. I love it. And we have somebody here today. Talk about the robins being out and everything. We have our own little robin that flew over here today. She's just sensational. She has performed vocally and on the keyboards with, you name the star, and she's probably met them and worked with or for them. She's just amazing. She's been performing in Palm Springs since the 70s, and before that, she's performed nationally and internationally, I should add. But she's just a delight. I can't wait for you to meet her. Robin, dear, I can't believe you're here in my kitchen today.
I can't believe it.
I love it. And you've got Robin a blue on. You are such a doll. And look at those blue eyes. Can you get a load of that? We'll toast to our martini and we'll get this cooking with Robin.
To us.
Honey.
Oh, that's strong.
That's a strong one, isn't it? That's gonna get our little. That's gonna get our little party started, isn't it, sweetie?
Well.
And you know what's funny, Robin? You know, I asked you. I said, where did you first go with your mother when you grew up in Tacoma, Washington?
Yes.
Which it's beautiful up there, as we all know. And then you and Mom took off for Alaska to go start doing some performing away from home. Is that correct?
My agent booked me there.
Okay.
And my father would not let me go there without my mother.
I think Daddy was doing the right thing. He knew how attractive you were. And then from there, what cities have you performed in throughout the United States? I mean, there's so many. We'd be here all day, but.
Oh my gosh. Well, Wisconsin. I was at the Playboy Club there. Montana, Oregon, Idaho, my gosh. And then I came to California and I worked in Beverly Hills and I worked in Pasadena. I came to Palm Springs and that was 1978.
Oh my gosh, I love it, Robin. What do you think of Palm Springs today versus back then? Is it better? Is it worse? Maybe it's just different.
It's totally different.
Yeah.
And those days in Palm Springs, there were so many restaurants.
But we're talking the heyday, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, that must have been so much fun.
There were so many lounges.
Did you? Well, and she'd be singing, and who'd walk in?
Kirk Douglas, you would see Frank Sinatra.
Well, he came and watched you perform.
Oh, yes.
Quite a bit.
He was in many times. And one evening in particular, he came in with Cary Grant and...
Not to name drop.
Roger.
She's not the type, but this is real, okay?
And Gregory Peck.
Oh my God, Robin.
And their spouses.
And this was a surprise to you?
Oh yes, I did not know they were...
So you're at the keyboard and you're singing.
And they're sitting at a table all talking. And I couldn't get my eyes off Cary Grant. He was so gorgeous.
Oh my God, dear.
Sinatra walked out and gave me the thumbs up.
Aww.
And
getting that from old Blue Eyes, that's something.
And I got to know Mary Martin personally.
Now I remember that. You were pretty good friends.
And she was just a delight.
Mary Martin was the one that really kind of renamed you the Edith Piaf of the Americas because your voice is so magnificent. I think you also played in the home of Bob Hope.
I did. There was a large fundraiser, and I was told I had a Diet Coke, and they had a beautiful Bosendorfer Well, of course, I would never put a Diet Coke on the piano.
No.
And his wife came by and made sure that I wouldn't do that. And pretty soon
Dolores.
Yes.
Hmm.
And pretty soon I heard this coughing coming by. And here was Bob Hope in his bathrobe, wanting to be recognized by the entertainer. So I turned.
Were the guests there?
Oh, sure.
And he came down in his bathrobe.
And he came down in his bathrobe.
Speaking of Alaska, guess what we're gonna bake today?
What?
We are making baked Alaska.
Oh, my
I know, dear. Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Oh,
You know.
that's a treat.
But then also you've performed originally in Alaska, my God, dear. You know, so many people I feel like are intimidated by making baked Alaska. And you really, have you ever made it?
No.
You know, everybody thinks, oh, I can't make baked Alaska. You know, I mean, how do you make meringue, and then how do you keep the ice cream from melting when you throw it in the oven? And that sounds like a science project. Well, guess what? It's easy, and like you, Robin, it's elegant and just, you know, something to show off at the table. It really is. So what I did is I pre-made the pound cake, which is the center of the baked Alaska. We're gonna make like individual ones. How about that? I thought that might be kind of fun. And so first we're gonna just cut out 3 or 4 circles of pound cake. And then you'll see at the end, we're gonna put a wonderful sauce over this that'll complement the lemon. I'm gonna put these in the freezer and we're gonna be right back. So Robin, we've been busy, haven't we?
Oh my
gosh,
gosh.
look at all this that we've done. I know, and you've been a good helper. Remember, we put each of the pound cake circles in the freezer, we took them out, and now we started like dolloping them with some wonderful raspberry sorbet, and we use half raspberry, and then Robin's gonna top that off with some wonderful vanilla ice cream. I have to have ice cream almost every night. Oh, look at that, sweetie. Just look at how perfect she got that. My God, dear. We're gonna put that all back in the freezer and let it harden up. So we've got our pound cakes with the ice cream and sorbet dollops freezing up in the freezer, and in the meanwhile, we're gonna make up a luscious meringue. So what were some of the clubs that you played at out here in Palm Springs? I know some aren't here, but we love hearing about them.
Well, there was a wonderful hotel called the Canyon Hotel.
Oh.
There was a landmark. It was on Murray Canyon.
Okay.
It was totally demolished.
Oh.
Howard Cosell would have his golf tournaments.
And all these people, a lot of the time, they would just drop in and you wouldn't know who was gonna show up.
I was fortunate to play several of his tournaments, his parties. I worked the Purple Room.
The Purple Room. But the Purple Room, it's where the Rat Pack would come out and test all their material.
Oh, yes. My last restaurant that I worked in for several years, and probably the best, was Les Vallauris.
Oh, beautiful place here in Palm Springs. Just exquisite.
And I loved it.
How long were you there, Robin?
I was there about 3 years.
Wow. So we're gonna get back to our baked Alaska. How about that? So we're gonna make a meringue. You know, again, I think 2 of the things that intimidate people about making baked Alaska are the fact that, you know, you've got this ice cream in the center of it all, and then you throw that in the oven with the meringue over it. How does that not just all melt and turn to a mess? Well, we're gonna show you, it won't. You can do this. Make sure that your egg whites are room temperature. Let them sit out for 3 or 4 hours and you'll be fine. We're gonna just start whipping this up. And it's gonna start getting a little frothy. We're trying to work air into the egg white. I'm gonna put in about a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and then we're gonna sprinkle a good amount of sugar in it. And I know this looks like a lot of sugar, and it is. But we're gonna just get that all slowly mixed in there. Robin, look at those magnificent egg whites. And you were a little hesitant to do that. See, here's a case in point. Everyone's afraid of making meringue. You don't have to be. I think you've got it, honey. I bet you can turn that thing off. We have our frozen cakes with the ice cream and sorbet pulled out of the freezer so they're good and frozen, right? And we're gonna just cover each of them with some meringue. Now it takes a little while. We wanna cover the whole thing. And then we can make these wonderful little swirls, and these will just all look fabulous. Oh, Robin, you're a pro. Honey, look what we did. Don't they look gorgeous? We got all those little cakes and ice cream balls. Remember, they were all frozen. And then we covered them with the meringue. And
oh, they're beautiful little mountains.
honey, I think, well, yes, it's sort of like a, what were you saying?
Mount McKinley in
Aren't they?
Alaska.
And that's in Alaska. So next we're gonna just pop these into the oven. It's 500 degrees in there, so we're only gonna leave them in there for about 2 or 3 minutes. We'll be right back. Oh my gosh, Robin, they are gorgeous.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, that was 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So don't let them just sit there unattended, because that's a hot oven and they're gonna just do their magic. Can you believe it? You were asking me about this raspberry sauce. Yes, I did make it, and it's so easy. All you do is take fresh raspberries, some water, some sugar, and cook them down for about 5 minutes. Then guess what we're going to do with this lovely stuff?
Oh,
We are going to just drizzle it over the top a little. Does that just look like,
the 70s.
oh, the 70s? I
gosh.
loved that. Didn't you love those years, Robin?
I remember my first baked Alaska was in Seattle.
Oh. You can place a few little berries here and there. Oh, that's lovely. We've got that lemon pound cake in there, and the raspberry sorbet, and the vanilla ice cream, and the meringue, and the raspberry
yes.
sauce. Here, I think I'm in heaven.
Oh, it's
Oh my God.
wonderful.
And remember, the ingredients and the full recipe is at thepalmspringsbaker.com, right there on your screen. You can do this. It's so easy. It really is. I'm telling you. You know, Robin, you are just a delight. Thank you for being here today, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you, honey.
And like we say at the end of every show, be good, be you, and bake.